Hey, my beautiful friends. Welcome to all of you. I'm your friend Kevin. I'm here to deliver a message that puts you on the right foot, not the back foot. So this is your card of the day. All right, so here we go. We're using the Angels and Auras Oracle deck by Radley Valentine, co-produced by Dougal Fraser. Well, they both did it together. I can't say that one's there. Let's not get into that. Card of the week, Melchizedek. Divine knowledge, higher learning, committing to your vision through studying. And this comes from the Divine Masters Oracle deck, this one. New deck out by Kyle Gray with illustrations by Jennifer Hawkyard. And my isms are that finding the feeling of what you want. And then a little prayer. Dear God, thank you for entering where you already abide. That is acknowledging that the love of God, or whatever you believe God to be, the universe, great source energy, the creator, the energy of all things, has always been here. You're just acknowledging and giving thanks that you recognize that God, that feeling, that universal energy is within us all. Right, let's get to our card of the day and see what messages we have. Feels intense today. 4 times is what they're saying. That's the first shuffle, second shuffle, third shuffle, last shuffle. Thank you. Top or bottom, top. Okay, got it. Communication, which is really the colour of blue. And the number 18, 1 and 8 is a 9. Incidentally, today is a 2 number. Sometimes 2 for me means duality. But in angel numerology, it is about keeping the faith. It is about positive thinking. It's about the mood of being gentle and harmonious. The energy is feminine. And it's all about being loving, kind, caring. That sort of communal energy is out there. So now let's have a look at this communication card of what Melchizedek would like us to know. The accuracy of expression and the intimate honesty. And here we see our group of friends, all different, of all different realms, men, women, younger, older, and they are around a campfire. And it looks like their hands are together in prayer. And this is rather interesting because this morning I was reading a little bit more about Melchizedek, and the word or the name itself comes from the masculine and the feminine both. And it's seen as when God basically originally said, let us, meaning putting spirits into human form. He didn't want the ego involved. He wanted people to come together. And this is really today's energy, and the number 9 and the word communication is really about expressing yourselves as a together expression, not so much as a separatist expression. Now, I know we can get into the political weeds of division and divisiveness, but that's not the age of Aquarius that we're looking at. And the age of Aquarius that we're coming into, moving towards. The symbol of Melchizedek and was originally 2 squares that were pushed together, interlocked, and they form what could be the symbol of Judaism, the Star of David, if you will. There's very little that's known about the order of Melchizedek or Melchizedek, depending on how you want to say it. But it certainly goes all the way back to the Abrahamic teachings. And I feel like now that we are working more towards the age of Aquarius, we've got a few more years to go, with Jupiter being the guiding light that brought people out of certain areas way back in Abrahamic texts. You can go into the early part of the Bible, but it's just so interesting that here these teachings in this order, of which very little is known, should be showing back up again. And we're all coming together as a social community. I mean, way back when we didn't have social media. And social media has been a great source of bringing people together, but it's also been a source of dividing people up. It's quite interesting. So let's see how these two cards, or these two images and messages, come together. Let's go into the let me just quickly get my bearings here a little bit. So the way we communicate is the key to being successful in all things. I learned a while ago that on our own, by ourselves, as independent units, we are pretty powerful. But when we get into a community, when we join up with other folks, like-minded folks, we are actually unstoppable. When we express our most authentic self, we get enriched in our businesses, we get enriched in our relationships, we find our self-worth, and even can come to better physical health. You know, having honest expression is the start or the launch pad of real creativity. And so what I would say right now is that the angels in the spirit world are giving you kudos and saying yes, 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 for opening your heart and articulating your goals and your dreams and your wishes. Now, the colors of this particular card is sort of I want to say it's a kingfisher blue, which is a combination of like the blues and the greens, highlighting all kinds of different communication. One is like wisdom, for the highest good of all. And of course, we certainly see the wisdom that's coming from the great Melchizedek. And of course, we've got God, the source energy, the great creator, that's always with us, giving us that feeling of comradeship, that feeling of togetherness, that feeling of communication. If you're one of those who perhaps today is feeling a little isolated and feeling that sometimes your words of expression, sometimes what you say, how you want to say it, or maybe there's a big, deep seated thing that you want to get off your chest, find the way to say the words and join up with people who get it, who understand it, who want to hear it. The challenge with bottling things up and pushing things down and not openly expressing what's really in your heart is the fear that someone else is going to either say it before you said it, or not like what you said, or challenge what you said, or go against what you said. All of those perceptions are not real. They haven't happened. You're not going to know if they do happen until you express yourself. And what I know from my own personal experience is that true, authentic communication that's between you, me, the world, the creator, my guides, Gertrude and Beatrice, it's pure. It's a flow. And when we bottle this up as if intelligence, information is some kind of precious metal that we have to sell and trade, when we use it, I know something you don't know. And if you want to know it, you've got to pay for it. If we're doing that, then the ego is in front of it and no good can come from it, because that comes from a place of fear. It doesn't come from a place of freedom. Freedom is the ability to say what we think, what we mean, what we feel, what's on our minds and our hearts. We can be very respectful of those who do not disagree, or those who do disagree, for sure, respect their point of view. Somewhere in there, with the disagreement, lives that fear. And by respecting somebody else's, I understand where you're coming from and I respect it, but holding close to what you're saying, what you're believing, and what you know to be true, you're also respecting yourself and your own boundaries. That doesn't happen very often. It does happen, but it doesn't happen very often. More often than not, when you're having a conversation, you're in community with other people, and you're being expressive and you're being creative, someone in there is going to be feeling the way you feel and saying the things that you say and following along and adding their own power to the progress. There is real power in progress, but we also have to join up in that power. There is an order, a divine order of Melchizedek out there. Very little is known. There's a few videos that people have put together, and it's quite fascinating. It's quite interesting to me that this energy, that this master should be coming up right as we enter the age of Aquarius and coming back through, if you will, from a time that's very little is known about. And I wonder about that sometimes. It's like a return of something, except we don't necessarily go back, we continue on. So anyway, I'll leave those thoughts with you. Anything you want to add, Gertrude, Beatrice? They're saying you're all on the right path. You're all on the right line. There's nothing to add. Just keep going. Keep the faith. Watch your negative thinking. Watch your negative perceptions. And watch your insecurities. Because this is where the ego wants to pull you back down and under. And they want you to be up, out and forward. All right, my friends. Until tomorrow. Much love. Bye for now. Hey everybody, we hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with all your friends. Here's a QR code if you decide you'd like to get a private personal reading with me. I'm available most evenings and on the weekends. Just go over to the website, book in what session, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then fill in the contact information and I'll be back in touch. And if you feel kind enough, here is a link to my donation button. Energy exchange of any amount is always gratefully received. Until next time, be well, be blessed, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.